Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Shri FC. I'm right now watching the match. I thought that this time the match will be over, but still the match is going on. It's 99 minutes and it's 15 seconds on the clock. My God, Chelsea do make it tough for all of us, guys. We do make it a lot of tough for us, and that's the way Chelsea go. That's the way we have been for a lot of decade. And finally, after 4 defeats in a row, we might be winning it. Goodison, no, come on, come on, no, clear it off, clear it off. Cucurella. Oh, that's a throw in for Everton. This is getting nervy, guys. This is getting nervy. Throw in. Please, no goal. Please, no goal. Cleared off. The ball is here, and Raheem Sterling has won it, and Cucurella continues. No, it's a free kick for Everton. The final chance for Everton to do something in this game. Final chance for Everton to do something in the game. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, no. Oh, it's taken by Mendy, and that should be it. And I think the match has ended now. And it's Everton nil, and it's Chelsea 1. So the match has most probably ended, and yes! Come on! First day victory of the season, needed victory, and it's Everton nil, it's Chelsea 1. So the post-match discussion, and it's Everton nil, it's Chelsea 1. Big victory for Chelsea today. Needed victory for Chelsea today. So finally I can take the specs off now. And boy, oh boy, that was nervous. That was nervy. The way the match went and the way it was gone, it was nervy. I think we made things very difficult for ourselves. It was the same old Chelsea where we did not take our chances. We were the same old Chelsea where we were complacent. We just were complacent in possession. We were slow with the delivery. We were slow with the ball. That's the way we have been, and that's the way it went. And so far, for me, it was a very, very disappointing performance from us. We just got away from jail, in my opinion. It was that bad. And for me, I'll get to the post-match. I'll get one by one. And I will also get towards a bit of talk on Havertz, a bit of talks on the defense. I think we are going to discuss a lot of things today. So do stay tuned in. Do subscribe to the channel, please, guys, and keep supporting the channel. We'll have the talk, and we'll also see how did we play in this game. So for me, it was a performance. It was an absolute imperfect performance. No, see, there's no time for overreaction. We cannot be overreact on just one game. Overall, it's not like it's the end of the world. We won the match. We got the 3 points. We march ahead. A lot of the transfer work still has to be done. So we cannot forget that a lot of the transfer work has to be done. But at the moment, it was the same old Chelsea where we started the game. We started the game a bit well. There was intensity. Then Everton grew into the game. And then we had a lot of corner kicks. And I think we misused that. For me, I could not even find where Havertz was in the whole game. Havertz was very, very disappointing for me. Very disappointing. And I think Raheem Sterling in patches was fantastic. I think Raheem Sterling, the way he ran with the ball, the way he dribbled, the way he went after defenders was very, very positive for me. Raheem Sterling had a very, very good match for me. But the problem was the final output was not there. For me, Mason Mount in his usual self was a bit disappointing today. I think other than that, Havertz was very, very poor. I think N'Golo Kante was good today. I think Jorginho, whatever required of him, was fine. I think our left back Chilwell played well today. I think James was fantastic, but I think defensively we were very, very shaky today. I think a lot of times we were saved. A lot of times we were saved by Thiago Silva today. I think the last dish tackles, Everton, the last dish headers, and I think that's a bit of concern, to be honest. The way we played at the end, I think it should be very concerning for all of us. I think defensively, we were a lot caught out today. I think Everton had some good chances today. Dele Alli, when he came on, got an end of some good chances. And there were chances for McNeil as well. There was chances for Everton in attack. There was chances for Gray, Gordon. I think overall, Everton, for me, were the team that came with a defensive idea. They just sat back and they wanted to counter us. I think Everton started well. I got 25 points. This is my first FPL, 3 games to go. I think very good football creek. And overall, I also got some points. I believe James got a clean sheet and Mendy got a clean sheet as well. I think I have also got around, I believe, till now 20 to 23 points in my opinion. But I think overall, football creeks have left to thoughts on the game, because for me, it was the same old Chelsea that we saw. It was the same old Chelsea that we've seen for a long time. I think the game was again a game we were very, very lucky to come out of. It was not a proper performance. I think you can see in the banner, it says defense. For me, we were not defensively solid today. We might have won the game 0-1, but we were not defensively solid. I think Thiago Silva saved us on a lot of times today. The last dish tackles. I think Mendy was also at point whenever required for some chances. I think overall you can say the corner kicks by Everton whenever they put it into the box were threatening. I cannot forget the kick where Doucouré hit the hand of his own player, where there was a shout of a penalty. So I think that's the overall thing by Chelsea, and that's the thing that disappoints me about Chelsea. Koulibaly showed why he's best signing for us. Sterling was has good in the forward line as well. I think Prashantji, I will say one thing that both the signings have been good. Sterling, Koulibaly are two very, very experienced players, and I think they did not needed to get a lot of experience. They knew what to do in certain situations, and that was the case with them. I was more concerned, Prashantji, about the other aspect of the game. I think Havertz was very disappointing, and overall, we've got Hiren Bhai here, guys. Do welcome Hiren Bhai. So Hiren Bhai had
कैसे
5 hours in a row. So do go to his channel, Curious Harry. Please go to his channel, please subscribe, and please support Hiren Bhai. So Hiren Bhai, I want to bring you to a question here. And this is the question, Hiren Bhai. You guys required a striker like Wagost. I may be pronouncing his name wrong. So what's your opinion on this, Hiren Bhai? Did Chelsea need a player like Wagost in the team?
सॉरी सॉरी आपका आपका आवाज बोलिए तो फिर से
मैं अब आ रही है आवाज मेरी प्रॉपर?
जी जी बोलिए बोलिए
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। मैं ये कह रहा था कि फुटबॉल क्विज सर ने क्वेश्चन पूछा कि क्या चेल्सी को वाउट वैगोस जैसा स्ट्राइकर चाहिए?
जी, जी, मेरे हिसाब से तो स्ट्राइकर की जो एक आउट एंड आउट नंबर 9 स्ट्राइकर की मेरे हिसाब से तो कमी इस मैच में तो मेरे को तो दिखी क्योंकि हेवर्ट्स और माउंट दोनों ही मतलब इस मैच में मेरे को तो जो फर्स्ट हाफ है उसमें कहीं दिखे नहीं। सिर्फ स्टर्लिंग ही मतलब पहले आपके जो एनालिसिस था उसमें भी दिखा रहा था कि स्टर्लिंग ही सेंटर में ऑपरेट कर रहा था, हावर्ट्स लेफ्ट साइड कर रहा था और माउंट राइट साइड पे कर रहा था ऑपरेट। तो मेरे हिसाब से तो एक आउट एंड आउट स्ट्राइकर की तो चेल्सी को मेरे हिसाब से जरूरत है। देखते हैं अब चेल्सी इस ट्रांसफर विंडो में लाती है या फिर नेक्स्ट ट्रांसफर विंडो में।
आई
इसीलिए
थिंक
मतलब चांसेस जो हाफ चांसेस भी है वो कन्वर्ट नहीं दिखे क्योंकि एक जो आउट एंड आउट स्ट्राइकर होता है तो क्या है कि जो दोनों विंगर होते हैं उसको मतलब ज्यादा वो दे देता है स्पेस और दो तीन दो मतलब जो सेंट्रल डिफेंडर है उसको भी ऑक्यूपाई कर लेता है। तो मेरे हिसाब से तो काफी
आई थिंक मैं वही कहूँगा, मैं आपसे एग्री करता हूँ। आई बिलीव यू आर एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट इन दैट, हिरेन भाई। बट ऑल्सो हिरेन भाई, आई विल ऑल्सो वांट टू से वन मोर थिंग, हिरेन भाई, बिकॉज I do believe Chelsea do need a striker, but a Vago striker, football creek, sir. I think that's a bit wrong in my opinion, because Vagos is a player. I think Lukaku was that type of player for Chelsea, and it did not work out for Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel wanted a player who is more quicker on the ball, who gets presses, and I think Vagos would have been absolutely awful for that. And Prashant ji, Havertz, Chile were out of form. Cucurella was decent enough, whatever time he played. I think Havertz was very bad, Prashant ji. Havertz was very bad. I think Chilwell was still fine because he's coming after injury, and Cucurella looked good, but it's such a small, decent size. But मैं अभी तक जितना कहूँगा, I've enjoyed watching Cucurella so far. तो मैं हिरेन भाई से भी आऊँगा because Hiren Bhai is a Barca fan, but he watched the game in full. Hiren Bhai, for you, please tell me how bad was Havertz?
I think he looks I mean too much of this time I didn't see him taking too many touches and not pressing too much. So I think he looks very much off in this match and उसका मतलब कंट्रीब्यूशन उतना नहीं दिखा जितना दिखना चाहिए और ज्यादा डीप भी ड्रॉप नहीं हो रहा था। तो आई थिंक पूरा ऑफ ही लगा है मेरे को तो मतलब आई 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 कांट रिमेम्बर हाउ मेनी टाइम आई सी बॉल ऑन हिज फीट। सो आई थिंक इट्स लुक वेरी ऑफ।
आई थिंक साथ ही साथ सबसे कंसर्निंग बात मुझे ये लगेगी कि जैसे मैं स्टैट्स देख रहा था इस गेम के जो मैच के बीच में दिखा रहे थे, आई थिंक आर अटेम्प्ट्स वर नॉट आल्सो टू मच इन कंपैरिजन टू एवर्टन। आवर अटैक वाज वेरी डिस्जॉइंटेड टुडे। देयर वाज नो बैलेंस, एंड अगेन लाइक लास्ट ईयर Chelsea's biggest attack came through wings. It was through Reece James or Ben Chilwell, and that's the biggest concern for me, because is this the way Chelsea go? Are we only dependent on James or Chilwell or Cucurella to provide us attacking duties, or are we paying attackers so much wages to provide us some peanuts? I think That's the biggest concern for me. And Prashant ji is another question here, and that is Chile just don't have game form. I do agree, sir. Chilwell is just coming back after injury, and that's a more of a concern because it will take him a bit of time, and I think that's why Chelsea have signed Cucurella. And Danish bhai, thank you, bhai. Hello, bhaiya. Pitch was dry. Jurgen Klopp kabhi nahi sudhrege. Mr. Jurgen Klopp will never improve. Pitch was dry. I think Hiren bhai, I think Jurgen Klopp is very interested in cricket. तो वो ड्राई पिच देख रहे थे कहाँ पे टुक्की गेम होगी, स्पिन करेगी बॉल.
स्पिन
मुझे यही
करेगी,
लगता
या
है कि
या
यार
या
I think another question: Chelsea should pass the ball more in the box rather than cross in the box. Your players which play like that will do wonders, like Sterling, Werner, Havertz. I do agree, sir. And Danish bhai here, and this is the question for you, Hiren bhai. Bottom table teams are pressing big teams well, but they lack efficiency. So today, Hiren bhai, you watched Fulham, Liverpool. You had watched Tottenham, Southampton. तो आपको हिरेन भाई, आर यू सीइंग समथिंग पैटर्न इसमें कि टीम्स आर प्रेसिंग बिग टीम्स अ लॉट मोर एज कंपेयर टू
yes.
प्रीवियस ईयर?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with Danish bhai. I see in Fulham versus Liverpool also. Fulham pressing really well, and if they have a little bit more clinical, then they also have score more goals. And also in Spurs and Southampton. In Spurs Southampton, I didn't see that much, but in this game also Chelsea versus Everton, Everton are also pressing very well and defending very well. So I completely agree with Danish bhai.
I think, and also absolutely agreed here, bhai. And Prashant ji says he just needs to admit Fulham played well and Liverpool did not expect this at all. Bilkul, bilkul say Prashant ji. I think the problem with Jurgen Klopp is that he's always been like that. But प्रशांत जी, मैं इसमें यही कहूंगा, वो यर्गन की स्ट्रैटेजी है. वो क्या करता है कि प्लेयर से ब्लेम लेके सारा ब्लेम रेफरी पे डाल देगा और ड्रेसिंग रूम में जाके इनकी पूरी बैंड बजाता है वो, मेरे ख्याल से. एंड आई थिंक लिवरपूल विल बी एंग्री बिकॉज लिवरपूल are competing against a team like City who really drop points. One drop point will cost them. Last year, that Brentford match might have been the difference. Last year,
Difference.
3 times Liverpool gave leads away. Brentford 3, Liverpool 3. Today, it was not the case. But again, a slow start a bit by Liverpool. And I think that's the reason they suffered this as well. They were lucky to come out with a draw. Fulham were very inexperienced, and otherwise, it would have been an absolute thrashing. So, coming on back again to the Everton Chelsea game. And defensively, for me, as I was talking about, Chelsea were very shaky. So, coming on to you, Hiren bhai here. आपने देखा ऐसे पूरा मैच गया है, the way Chelsea played, how defensively गुड और बैड चेल्सी वर, बिकॉज मार्जिन तो दिखाएगा कि क्लीन शीट है, तो इतनी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आई. लेकिन जिन्होंने गेम देखी है, द पीपल हु वॉच्ड द गेम will know that Everton had caused Chelsea big problems in this game, and 0-1 score is very unfair to them. So what's your opinion on here, Hiren bhai? Do you think Chelsea defensively played well or they were bad?
डिफेंस आई थिंक डिफेंसिवली चेल्सी प्लेड इन बिट ऑफ अ ग्लिम्स अप. मतलब कोई कोई पॉइंट पे अच्छी दिख रही थी, और कहीं कहीं पे एट सम पॉइंट दे आर डूइंग सम सिली मिस्टेक आल्सो. सो आई थिंक इट्स 50-50 in defense. They intercept some of very good chances of Everton, and they also gave some very simple chances also to Everton. One of the chances I remember that intercept by Thiago Silva, जो काउंटर अटैक पड़ गया था, तो उसमें जो उसने जो बैक बैक लेग से जो सेव किया था, वो वहां पे नहीं तो ओपन गोल हो जाता, क्योंकि इट्स 2 वर्सेस 2 था, और सामने वाला खिलाड़ी फ्री था. तो मेरे हिसाब से डिफेंस में, मतलब आई थिंक दे डिडंट लुक 100%, बट आई थिंक दे विल improve as it's first game, and also the combination is also gonna be gel up very well after Koulibaly integrated with team in a couple of days. So I think it's gonna be defensive wise. I think Chelsea will not have that much problem. I looks little bit off in this match, but in upcoming match, I think Chelsea will do better in defense. But I major concern I have regarding attacking drive. I don't see. Matlab, I think they lack a little bit more creativity and open chancing in attacking wise. So let's see what happened there.
I think absolutely agreed, Hiren bhai. I think you took absolutely everything that I wanted to say, Hiren bhai. And coming on to the another topic today that I want to talk about before I fully go on the post match, I think that's Kai Havertz. I think this is becoming a bit of concern for me. I think this is becoming a bit of concern for everyone involved. I think everyone knows that Chelsea at the moment are interested with Aubameyang, Depay, but that's not proper strikers you want. I think Chelsea at the moment in the market are not linked with any big striker name. Ki, okay, this is a big striker, that's a big striker. Chelsea attackingly problems. We lost out on Rafinha. Sterling is the only attacker we have got right now. We are linked with De Jong, but De Jong is a midfielder. So यहीं पे चेल्सी के अटैक के प्रॉब्लम्स है वी आर सफरिंग अ लॉट डिफेंसिवली so this is the only part that Havertz most probably this season is going to be Chelsea's number 9 or a player that plays close to the number 9. So Havertz has been Chelsea's one of the most unimpressive player for a long time. He plays well for 3 or 4 games where he shows he's one of the world class players in the world, one of the world class young talent in the world. Then he goes missing for 2 or 3 months, and that becomes a big problem. Last year, Havertz scored a good header against Liverpool, but after that, he did nothing for 1 2 months. Came back again, did nothing. Came back, had a good 2 month spell, then came back and then absolutely destroyed the pitch. Played bad for 3 months. This year, he has looked bad in preseason. This year, he's looked very bad so far. And Havertz is a player I really like. Havertz is a player I admire, but he needs to be more consistent if Chelsea needs to make for the top four. So, Hiren Bhai, coming to you because you watched the whole match. Do tell me, Hiren Bhai, that just tell me what is the biggest problem of Kai Havertz, Hiren Bhai, and why it's not improving? And is he the number 9 that Chelsea need to use in the future, or are Chelsea in deep trouble if Havertz is going to be Chelsea's number 9?
I think it's gonna be mix up of some of the things. First thing, I think position wise is looking a little bit off, and also the touches are not the great touches. So ball controlling is also the problem. But I think if he pick up his form in 2 3 matches, upcoming matches, then I think Chelsea will not have to worry about the number 9 more. But if he didn't perform to his level or his ability, then I think Chelsea are in big trouble, because Chelsea lack one thing. They always have a good defense, good midfield, but they always lack a goal scoring machine. So I think they need a goal scoring striker, I think, because you can't be rely on hours for a whole season of the tight schedule of this year. So I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how ours will evolve in these 2 3 the matches. Otherwise, Chelsea have to look for a striker in this window either, or in some winter window, because without a striker, you same problem we have when Javi started coaching Barcelona. In winter window, we bought Aubameyang and Odama Traore. So we are from ninth to we came second in La Liga. Same problem with Chelsea also. They lacking goals. They create chances. They good in midfield, good in defense, but they lack chances, and finish wise also they are little bit poor. So I think it's all gonna depend on how they gonna perform in 2 3 matches, and there on we can see if they needed a striker or not.
Absolutely, Hiren Bhai, absolutely agreed. And Hiren Bhai, you have been again absolutely spot on. And again, going on towards more important things today. So, first of all, guys, please do like the stream. Please subscribe to the channel. Every like helps. It helps to get to more people. And please subscribe to the channel of Hiren Bhai, Curious Harry. Link is tagged in the below. I will again tag it below if people have not been able to find it. I will tag Hiren Bhai's channel again because for me, this post match came immediately. So, I was not able to update some things. But I will update straight after this video. So do go there when I update this. Subscribe to Hiren Bhai's channel. It's not too much difficult to remember. It's if I can properly say, it's more about Curious Harry. So do go there and subscribe. So taking on some more questions here, and by football freak, Sterling can give you goals. He just needs a support at either wings or from midfield. I do agree, sir, but where does he get support from in the midfield? If I'm being very very honest, because the problem with Sterling is that Sterling needs a more proper team. Like at City, he used to have Kevin, Bernardo, Mahrez, Foden. So he used to have a lot of support. At Chelsea, Sterling is a leader. Sterling is a leader for players like Mount, Havertz. He's a leader, so he has to lead here. And with Chelsea going big after De Jong, Chelsea going big after Cucurella and Fofana, it's very difficult for us to even dream of a striker so far. So here, I think Sterling will have to step up football freaks here, and he will have to get more goals here. You remember when Sterling, someone like Sane, how great he was. I think that's the problem. I think Sane was just magnificent, in that season. I think Pulisic and players like Havertz have just now stepped up to the plate. I think if Havertz and Pulisic step up, I think Sterling is going to have a great time. But they just haven't stepped up, and that's the biggest problem for Chelsea so far. So discussing another player today for Chelsea, and straight away going to Raheem Sterling now. And Raheem Sterling, it was a debut for Raheem Sterling today, and for me, I will go my opinion afterwards. First of all, I will take the opinion of Hiren Bhai. So Hiren Bhai, what was the opinion today of Sterling, and how did you think Sterling fared today against in his debut match?
Yeah, he looks good. I think needs some more time to gel up with the team. So I think he played average game, not great or not below average game. So he misses some passes or misplace some passes or lose some ball in a crucial area or a crucial time of attack. So I think overall performance is not up to the mark, but I think he will score goals for sure.
So, Hiren Bhai, going on to Sterling, and like the way this comment came that Sterling needs a winger to play better. So do you agree with this, Hiren Bhai, that Sterling needs a winger to play better along with him, or a striker?
I think he needs, because he need a player who can feed him, or he can feed him to him. So both way he works very well. In City, they use him like that someone like केविन डी ब्रुयना या फिर बर्नार्डो सिल्वा हो गया, वो उसको फीड कर देते बॉल, या फिर ये रहीम स्टर्लिंग चांसेस क्रिएट करता था। तो आई थिंक उसको ऐसा प्लेयर चाहिए जो विंग से उसको बॉल दे, ताकि वो मतलब हाफ चांस हो या फिर उसको ही कैन कन्वर्ट इट।
Hiren Bhai. And Hiren Bhai, also the thing with Sterling is that for me, Sterling needs a bit more support from the team. He needs a bit more support from players like Pulisic, players like Mount. I think Mount has been Chelsea's one of the better players, so I'm not going to go on Mount. But he needs better support from Havertz, better support from Pulisic, better support if any other player comes and plays in there, or a Hudson-Odoi, or even a Werner if he stays, or Ziyech. And I think for Chelsea, that's the biggest problem. Our biggest threats are Reece James and Ben Chilwell and Cucurella, and that's a big concern for me. I think if we bring Fofana, we bring Frankie de Jong, that means we are becoming a much more proper defensive side. So that means we are really improving them. And for said, no, sir. I'm saying you know better than me in Sterling. I will never deny that. You know 100 times better than me, sir, on Sterling. But the thing with Sterling is, I believe that Sterling at City used to have a lot of players that used to work with him better. Right now, who do you think is there even in the market that we can find that we can play with Sterling? Gnabry has extended his contract. Rafinha has gone to Barcelona. We can also go to the other parts. So that's a big concern for me in that regards. So coming on to another topic today, and I will take the final question from Hiren Bhai before he leaves today. And because he is in a 5 hour stream, and it's a big favor from Hiren Bhai to be here. Absolute pleasure to
No,
be
no,
with
no.
Hiren Bhai.
It's my pleasure to be here, Srey.
So please, guys, go there and subscribe. He works a lot hard, and it doesn't take a penny to just go and subscribe. It takes a 1 second effort to do. So please go survive. Curious Harry, easy to remember. Curious because Hiren Bhai is a very curious person in football, and Harry, we all see Harry Potters in childhood. So do go there and subscribe. So coming on to the next question, Hiren Bhai here, and going to Thiago Silva. Now, Thiago Silva is going to be the biggest point for Chelsea this season, Hiren Bhai. And there are some questions. Maybe Frankie can do the role. I think coming on to before I'll take the Sterling question to you and go to that question as well. I think Football Pizza says that maybe Frankie can do the role of creativity. So you are a Barcelona fan, so you know more better than me in regards to De Jong. So is De Jong a very good creator who can do very good job for Sterling?
No, no, no. I think Frankie is a little bit more of a ball carrier than creative. I think if he can feed a ball to the attacker, but I think from midfield he can't be that much गुड फॉर स्टर्लिंग। तो आई थिंक मतलब स्टर्लिंग के लिए जो अच्छा विंगर एक होता है वो ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है रादर देन अ मिडफील्डर हु कैन, क्योंकि चेल्सी ऑलरेडी हैव अ गुड मिडफील्डर लाइक कांटे, कोवाचिस, जॉर्जिनियो, बट I think what lacks in Sterling and Chelsea is good winger like Rafinha. Rafinha would be a great fit for you if that happens. But I think Winger is a must need because without Mount, which player do you have a winger like that? I think GH is also going, and Pulisic. We all know that Pulisic can't be that much good like Mount. So I think a very matlab fast and inverted winger is very good for Sterling and Chelsea also.
But I think in that only, Hiren Bhai, I will say that at the moment in the market, I don't think there are a lot of inverted wingers available that can play like that. So, guys, this video will continue, but Hiren Bhai has to go. Please go there and subscribe to Curious Harry. Thank you so much, Hiren Bhai, to come here. We'll continue the stream. So, do stay in. And thank you, Hiren Bhai. See you again. And thank you so much, Hiren Bhai.
Thank you guys, and thank you Srebai, and please subscribe to Srebai's channel and also my channel Curious Harry. Thank you guys for having me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Hiren Bhai. And guys, going on to Chelsea match and discussing about it, I think Thiago Silva is a player we all need to discuss. I think if we go without discussing Thiago Silva, I think that will be a shame on me as a fan. I think that will be a shame on us all. I think Silva again proved why he's one of the best defender right now in the world, and the age is just a number. I think he was just fabulous today, Thiago Silva. For me, he was at the right position at the right time, everywhere, making the last ditch tackle, winning the last ball. He was at the right position, guiding the players, being angry, aggressive whenever required with the players. कि यार तुम straight line में तो खड़े हो जाओ. So it's good to see Thiago Silva, and Thiago Silva is one of the biggest influence we need at Chelsea. I think if not for Thiago Silva, the whole defense will crumble today. I guarantee you that. Take Thiago Silva away from Chelsea, and I can tell you the whole Chelsea team is going to crumble, and that's the biggest concern for me so far. I think again today, defensively for me, we were not at a mark. I think defensively today we were a lot more open than we should not have been. I think there was a lot of chances for Everton where they could have took advantage of us. But I think we were lucky that we had a player like Thiago Silva who was there most of the time to save us. I think that was the most important part today, and that's the way I think Silva played. Silva was just fabulous. So people in the live chat, do give your opinion on Silva today, because for me, Silva was one of the better performers for us today, and he was just fabulous for me, Thiago Silva. So going on to another topic today, and we discuss about Sterling, we discuss about Havertz. I also want to discuss a bit about here Chelsea post match, and going on to the post match today. I think if I have to give my review of the match so far that we played this game, I think we were a bit disappointed in this game, in my opinion. I think it was not a game where Chelsea played to the utmost potential for me. I think it was the same old Chelsea where you win 1-0, we struggle for the way. I think defensively, we were a lot caught out today. It was not a Thomas Tuchel side which is tough to play against. I think we were very easy to play against. Everton had a lot of space to work in, but I think we were somewhat lucky that it did not take advantage. So I think that's the first part, that Chelsea were very lucky today that we were playing Everton, a poor side in the league. Otherwise, we would have been in big trouble today. I think the second thing I also want to talk about with you guys is overall the performance of some of the new signings. I think Sterling, Koulibaly were just fantastic for me. I think Sterling was just superb today. I think Sterling was very good. He made the right runs. He ran behind the players. I think Sterling finishing was not there today. His final output was not there today. But the intensity was there. The running with the ball was there. That intensity was there that Thomas Tuchel has been asking for. For me, N'Golo Kante was again very good for me. I think N'Golo Kante really impressed us all. And I think N'Golo Kante was again the player that he used to be. Again, a player that used to go there, win the ball back, come back. So I think that's a very good part for me. I think again and again, for me, the biggest concern that comes with Chelsea, defensively, I think we'll get more sorted. I think once Koulibaly and Silva have more tuning in them, I think once Cucurella get in this defense, I think we will be more fine. But the biggest problem that at the moment for me stays in this game, and it's just not about for me defensively or attackingly. I think we have a lot more problems than I think people think of. I think people say that Chelsea at the moment are not transfer window work. Chelsea have not done this. Chelsea have not done that. But I think people are not realizing that we have a lot more problems on our hand. And biggest problem of them we have got is creativity and attack. So बहुत boring match था. I think it was a very boring match, Gaurav bhai. But for me, Gaurav bhai, it wasn't because I'm a Chelsea fan. But I understand for you that it was a very disappointing match. So going with the creative and attack one, I think creativity and attack are both a big problem for Chelsea. We haven't got even an ounce of creativity in us. Final output, the pass is not there. Final breathtaking pass is not there. I think you see Bernardo Silva at City, Kevin De Bruyne, and I think football critics will agree with me here that Chelsea will get into games and leagues slowly. They will work well. Sir, I do think will work well But sir, I do think that defensively we are going to be a good side this season. If Fofana comes, Cucurella is there, I think defensively Chelsea is just going to do fantastic this season. And defensively, I think Chelsea is going to surprise a lot of people. I think we are going to be the same old Chelsea side we used to be. I think we are going to be the same old Chelsea side that we used to be in terms of not wanting to play against. So I think there's a big part of Chelsea today. And I do see football critics, sir, that Chelsea is going to improve in that part. But the biggest concern for Chelsea, sir, in my opinion, for me, the biggest problem is attack. And attack is just not improving for us. It's just not improving in any regards. It's the same old creativity problems that we haven't got here. And just speaking on the Gaurav Bhai's question, what's your FPL score? Sir, at the moment, my FPL score is 33 points so far. So at the moment, I'm doing just fine. I've got 33 points here in FPL right now. Mendy has got 7, James has got 5, Alexander Arnold 1, Kilman 1, Sterling 3, Saka 6, Salah 10. So at the moment, I've just done fine. Not that good, not that bad. So that's what Chelsea always are, defensively good. But the problem is, sir, it goes two ways. Defense wins you title, attacks win you games. But defense is not winning us Premier League and attack is not winning us games. This is why I think a defensive is not one of the best right now. We have some mistakes in us. But also, I think attackingly, you need to have some output. Jose Mourinho's best side, 41. Wow. Fantastic, Gaurav. I think Darwin Nunes kamal kar gaya. And going on towards Chelsea again. So with Chelsea, I will only say one thing, people, with Chelsea, that Chelsea are defensively good. I will never deny that. But the problem with Chelsea is attackingly, I used to remember Jose Mourinho's size, which used to have in earlier times. You can say Drogba, you can say other players who used to be absolutely fantastic. And Costa, Matic, Conte in the at that time. Matic Conte under Conte, when we used to have Hazard, we used to have Pedro, we used to have Diego Costa. Right now, when it comes to Chelsea, we haven't got a striker like Costa who used to have that good touch in him, good first touch. He used to run behind players, used to have pace, and used to have striker instinct. We have no Eden Hazard in a team, and the closest player we have got to Eden Hazard is Raheem Sterling. I think we still haven't got a Pedro in a team. I think Mount is very near to Pedro. So I think Mount will become better than him one day. But at the moment, we have not got a full Pedro in a team. I think Matic Kante was a midfielder, was absolutely colossal, and they used to have Fabregas. Now also we have Kovacic. But the problem with Chelsea is that we are so much reliant on wings so far that that's the biggest part we depend on. I think if you go towards Chelsea right now and going towards Chelsea, creativity in attack is just not it for us. People keep saying Chelsea have no striker, Chelsea have no striker, Chelsea have no finishing. We signed 100 million attacker Lukaku to finish chances for us. But were you up? We signed a 100 million striker Romelu Lukaku, and what happened? The same old thing. It never worked. Because Chelsea's biggest problem is not just attack, it's creativity. Who creates chances for players? Havertz is on the pitch and Havertz was horrific. But how many chances were given to Havertz as well today? People saw the game against Liverpool with Nunes. How many chances Nunes had? Nunes had a lot of chances. He literally could have scored a hat trick if he had some finishing boots today. Nunes could literally have scored a hat trick today if he has some finishing boots. While Chelsea created 0 to none. We create literally 0 to none chances. And that's the biggest problem. And Football Greece, I took a chance at put Kulusevski in FPL. Same with Jorginho. I think I made a big mistake not pulling Kulusevski. Massive mistake, massive blunder by me today. And I think I paid the consequences for that. So I think very, very good on Football Creeks. You've done a fantastic job. And overall, I will say one thing, that at the moment with Chelsea, the creativity in attack is just not it for Chelsea so far. I think we struggle creatively. We do not create chances. We do not create chances at the right pace. We do not create chances at a good pace. How many chances are midfield creates for us? I think Jorginho is the biggest outlet, but Jorginho is no Cesc Fabregas. So that's a big concern for us. He's no Cesc Fabregas. You go towards other players in the team, and other players in the team are not able to create chances. Chelsea's biggest outlet when it comes to create chances is Reece James, is Ben Chilwell. That's the biggest outlet for Chelsea to create chances in the game, and that's the only way we stay in the game. That's the biggest problem for Chelsea, and that is the problem Chelsea are not able to solve till now. And when you go to attack, we still don't have finishes as well. So when Chelsea do create chances, we don't take them. And when we have half chances, we do not create chances. So I think we have both of these problems. And unless we improve that, I think we're not going very far. We have to improve all this. Otherwise, we're not going very, very far. And there are a lot more concerns for us as well. Now going on towards Everton and Chelsea full match discussion. For me, with Everton at the moment, I just want to analyze Everton a bit. And for me, Everton did what we were expected to do. I think Nunes is the new Lukaku. He takes at least 3 chances to score, and that too lucky goal or deflection. But the difference here is that Liverpool do create chances here, while Chelsea did not create chances. This is why I kept saying that Chelsea are a team which do not even create chances. It's not just about attackers not putting it into the net. We even haven't got players that can create chances at a good rate here, sir. We have got players that do not create chances, and that's the biggest problem I will say Football Creek, sir, with Chelsea. So on the live chat, people who are watching, please do give your opinion on the match as well. I'm going to continue this show for as long as possible. Do give your opinion. We'll have a good show today. Do give your opinion on the match, people. And now sharing the screen with you all, and I'm going to bring you to the screen. I think these are the rest of the matches. Do tell me in the chat if you are able to watch it properly. Please tell me as if you're able to watch it properly, or I can even zoom it if you require. So this is the Chelsea fixture list so far, if you see properly, and these are the fixtures Chelsea are going to be contesting in. If you see properly with Chelsea so far, we won the match against Everton today, but the next match is the derby against Tottenham. Then we have got Leeds United, and then we have got Leicester City, and then we have got Southampton, and then we've got West Ham. So you see, we have some tricky fixtures here, and we have some very, very tricky fixtures to work on. Tottenham is going to be a very, very hard game for us to work on, in my opinion, and a game we have to be very scared about, because Tottenham is going to be a team that will give us a big trouble. They literally smashed the heck out of, you can say, Southampton, and you guys have to sign Haaland because he fits in the system perfectly. Absolutely, sir, but we missed Statue City. City are one of the best run club in the world, and it shows. City are such a good run club, and City were always aware that they needed Haaland. Chelsea went with Lukaku, and I think it paid us, and it gave a big heart to Chelsea. And it's the same old problem for us again, Football Creek, sir. Chelsea, we just do not create chances, and then we do not take them. For me, I don't want to be much negative today. It's a victory for us. We should enjoy it. We should relish this, and we should go forward on more important adventures, concentrating on more important things. And it's important to get a victory out of today, because we were not perfect, but we start the season with 3 points. We start the season getting some momentum with us, and that's the most important thing. But going on to the other aspect as well, we also cannot be here removing all the negatives away. We cannot be like one where you just need to be positive, where you just need to be positive for the sake of it. Oh, we won the game of the season. Fantastic. We are going marching on towards title race. No, that's not the case. Chelsea today were not that bad, but Chelsea today were not that good. I'm not saying be concerned. I'm not saying be negative. I'm not saying be negative about Chelsea, because I don't think there's nothing to be negative about. We won the match. We got the 3 points. We got the clean sheet. We go back home. We try to sign Fofana. We try to sign De Jong. And up till August 31, we get the results we want. And then once the deadline day is over, we can now properly consider it to a season. But the problem today we saw was the same old Chelsea, struggling to create struggling to create chances, struggling to create half chances, struggling to make the final pass in the box, struggling to do something with the ball, struggling in defense, making poor mistakes, being in the wrong position. And no, Football Creek, sir. Chelsea mostly last year, we were a very quick starter. We were very, very quick last year. We beat Crystal Palace 3-0. We drew against Liverpool 1-1. We also smashed the heck out of Norwich City 7-0. Last year, I believe, Football Creek, sir, until the Manchester City game, we had 13 points out of 5 games. And we played well as well. For me, sir, I'm not negative. I think Chelsea is going to do well this season. I think once Fofana are in, I think once Cucurella is fully fit, I think once you can say De Jong is here, I think I'm very confident for the season Chelsea is going to have, and we can be the dark horse. But the problem that I find is the concerns are the same old. Is the same old Chelsea when it comes to attack, and that's the part that's concerning me, because Havertz is a player who has always been a slow starter, and that's the biggest concern for me, because he's going to be the number 9 of Chelsea. He is the number 9. Sterling is a magnificent player, but Sterling does need support of other attackers, and the other attackers, bar Mount, are not providing that. Christian Pulisic has been a hit and miss player. He has played very well for 2 weeks, but he has played bad for 2 weeks. That's the problem with Christian Pulisic. You go towards Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he has been deceiving to impress. You go towards the midfield, and we have got 2 players who are running their contract down and have 1 year remaining on their contract. You go towards the defense, and we have got 230-year-olds up there. That's the biggest problem for us, and I think that's the problem we have to improve upon us. Haaland taking tips from Shearer, so that's scary. When he smiles, when he opens chances, it's scary for the rest of the Premier League team. Absolutely. I think City are going to create a bunch of chances for him. I'm really, really scared for some of the Premier League defenses. I think Kevin De Bruyne is going to put the balls into the box, Bernardo Silva, you can say Cancelo. So I think Haaland is in for an absolute treat. And in a City team, Even Lukaku can score 30 goals this season. That's how good City team are. But I will just want to ask you one question, football freaks. Now, because City have got Haaland and they've got no Sterling, no Jesus, so it's a different style of play. Do you see City starting a season a bit slow, or do you see City straight away getting into it and having a good season here? And going on towards going on towards more important part and discussing a bit on De Jong as well. Now, for me, Frankie De Jong is a player. In today's match, I saw a bit as well. I think we just might require him. I think Frankie De Jong is a player we just might require with the way we have played. I think Frankie De Jong is a player that we might need just after all has happened. I think coming on towards the game week one and discussing on the results we have had today, I think the game week one has been absolutely hectic. And Football Creek saying Bournemouth, I think Bournemouth is going to be the game where Haaland is just going to go and score a hat trick. I think everybody knows that. And going on towards the game week one, and I think it's been a fantastic game week one of the Premier League. I think Tottenham did what they always do. I think they beat Southampton 4-1. I think you have to say that Liverpool were just lucky to come out with a draw. They should have lost the game. Let's be brutally honest about that. You go towards the other teams. I think Newcastle start victorious, so that was good to see. I think Chelsea today, we were very, very lucky to come out with a victory. And I think we were very lucky that we just survived the game, because I think Chelsea were horrific in this game. And going on some stats for Chelsea as well, guys. Showing you the stats of today's game. And this is the story of Chelsea, and that's been the story of Chelsea as always. If you see the shots on the screen, just see the amount of dominance that Chelsea had in this game. Just see this amount of dominance that Chelsea had. We literally had chance after chance, shot after shot, 8 shots to 15. I think we had a lot of shots on target as well. 6 shots to 4, 63% possession. We had 16 corner kicks to 4 to Everton. And it's just a big concern that, again, when Chelsea have been able to create so many chances, we just have not put to finish a lot of them. And I think that's a big, big concern for me. Akrit Bhai is here in the chat. Sorry sir for being late. बस बस अरे अरे कोई सॉरी नहीं यार आखिरी भाई, कोई सॉरी नहीं यार, आराम से आइए, मैं आशा करूंगा आप बहुत अच्छे हो. एंड ऐसे इसमें कोई सॉरी की बात नहीं आखिरी भाई. And if you see Chelsea right now and the chances Chelsea have created, I think it's a massive, massive concern the way we have played. Chance creation हमारी है नहीं, हम जिस तरह कर रहे हैं, and finishing है नहीं. आप देखोगे तो हम 16 shots hit कर रहे हैं, but we are only putting 4 on the target, and that's a massive, massive concern for me. Yeah, we will start a bit slow, but as a City fan, you never know what to expect from City. I think the biggest concern has a rival I've got from City, sir. The biggest concern is that City, you can start slow and then you can go on a 10-match winning streak, 15-match winning streak. I think for me, if Chelsea defensively solidify ourselves, I think we can go on that streak. But we do need to defensively solidify ourselves. And today, if I show you the Chelsea lineup today, that was the lineup for Chelsea today. And putting you on the screen for the Chelsea lineup they played today. And a bit more thoughts on Everton as well. And can Everton survive today? I'm going to give my bit of thoughts on that. So between Neymar's score, thank you so much, Akrib, for the updates. And I think now Neymar looks more considerate towards staying at PSG. Chelsea didn't look convincing. I think we were not. We were not convincing Akrib Bhai. We were very, very concerning. And Akrib Bhai, हम बच गए आज because we were bad. We were very, very bad. And I think हम बच गए आज Akrib Bhai. वरना I think it should have been 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw more fair result होता है इस गेम का. तो मैं थोड़ी सी यहाँ पे बात करना चाहूँगा एवर्टन के बारे में भी. एवर्टन ने आज ये लाइनअप खिलाई थी जो आई थिंक वी शुड नॉट सरप्राइज द पीपल. That was the lineup that Everton played in this game. So with Everton at the moment, I will say only one thing, and I believe screen is fully visible to you all. So if you see with Everton so far, Everton played with the lineup that I predicted, but not starting, you can say, Dele Alli. So the Everton lineup was as we expected. So Everton played with Dwight 5-4-1. They played with Patterson, the new young right wing back, Godfrey, Mina, Tarkowski, Mykolenko. They played with Demarai Gray, Doucouré, Iwobi, McNeil, and then they had Gordon playing as a striker. For me, they should have gone with Dele Alli as a striker, but I think they did not even have any option bar to go because Rondon was suspended. I think it's the same old story where you can play literally 5 at the back. You just go there, you play 5-4-1 against Chelsea, and Chelsea will struggle. You keep the game as much as possible to 0-0, and Chelsea will struggle. I think there was a story of Chelsea again today where Everton were defensive, but really countering well. They had some pace about them. They had some pressing ability about themselves. And that was the case with Everton. That's been. They did what they did last time. This time we won 1-0. Last time they won 1-0. But the game was mostly same. They sat back. They waited for us to try to attack them, commit men forward. When we committed men forward, they attacked us with the pace of Demarai Gray, Gordon, McNeil. And that was their plan for whole the game. City, when start winning game, they stay unbeaten. And I think that's the biggest concern. Once City start winning, They go on a winning spree of 10-15 games. And I think Chelsea can do that if we solidify our defense. I think if we go for Frankie de Jong, I think if we go for players like Fofana, Cucurella, I think Chelsea will be very tough to break down. But I still believe when you have attackers who are very incompetent, you're not going to go on 15-20 match streak. That's the biggest problem with Chelsea. And अरे वो सब छोड़िए, आज मैच कुछ ज़्यादा ही लंबा नहीं हो गया. I think आखिर में उसमें ये प्रॉब्लम थी कि there was a lot of injuries in this match. And there was a lot of wastage of time. Then penalty भी हुई Jorginho की Chilwell वाली पे, which took a lot of time as well. So there was literally 10 minutes added at halftime one, and there was 10 minutes added at halftime two. यही concern थी इस मैच के बारे में कि there was literally 20 minutes added time. And this is why the match got stretched a lot today. जबकि मैच हमेशा इंडियन टाइम के हिसाब से 11:50 पे खत्म हो जाता है. And overall, guys, going on to the lineup again, and now going on to Chelsea lineup today for you all, discussing about the Chelsea lineup now, and coming on to the Chelsea lineup, guys, just a second. So this was the Chelsea lineup today. If you can see on a screen, this is the lineup that Chelsea played today, and this was the lineup that we played today with. And I think there was just no surprise. I am actually seeing us use 4-2-2 because Haaland requires someone support. Alvarez can do that. Exactly. I think City are changing the shape, and I believe Alvarez is going to be a very surprise pick the way he's going to play this season. I think people are sleeping on Alvarez. I think we all are talking about Haaland. We all are talking about Phillips. I think people are sleeping on Alvarez and how good he can be. So this was the Chelsea lineup we played today. And I think Koulibaly, Silva and Aspi with the defense. We had no other choice but Chaloba. I think the keeper was no surprise Mendy, and he had a good game today. I think at the left we went with Ben Chilwell because Alonso is going to Barca. At the right we had Reece James. In the middle we had got Jorginho. In the middle we had got Kante. And in the front three was again we had no other option to go for Mount, Harper, Sterling. For me, again, if you go to the lineup, for me, Koulibaly was fine. Was a bit sloppy sometimes, but did a good job on his debut. Thiago Silva was just epic, was fantastic to watch. I think Aspi did job very fine whenever required. I think Mendy was fabulous for us today. I think Reece James was very, very good today. I think Ben Chilwell was average, but he did a good job, especially for the penalty. I think Jorginho and Kante were very, very good today. And I think the front three, bar Sterling, was very poor. But Sterling in the box as well was very, very poor today. And Koulibaly and Silva were the only positive for me. I will also say I think Koulibaly and Silva were positive. But I think even when Cucurella came on, he looked a lot good as well. I think Jorginho looked good as well today. I think Kante looked good as well. So I think there are some positives for Chelsea to build on, I believe, Akrit bhai. And Chilwell आज बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं लगा. He was not fit. I think problem यही है आखिर भाई कि Chilwell is coming back after a very very serious ACL injury. And क्योंकि वो इस इतनी serious ACL injury के बाद वापस आ रहा आखिर भाई, कहीं ना कहीं वो उसको इफेक्ट कर रही है मुझे लगता है इंजरी. एंड वही प्रॉब्लम आ रही है क्योंकि ही सफर्ड एन ACL, एंड ACL बहुत ज्यादा बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है आखिर भाई. एंड दिस इज द थिंग दैट्स अफेक्टिंग Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell is not looking the player he used to. एंड आई थिंक वो इसके कारण है क्योंकि जो इंजरी उसने सफर करी है दैट वाज वेरी वेरी स्केरी. एंड एक साल बाद प्लेयर वापस आया तो आई थिंक इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू एक्सपेक्ट दैट थिंग फ्रॉम हिम. So now going on towards my final thoughts for the game today for Everton Chelsea. And I think again I will say this was a match where we are very very lucky to come out of with a 1-0 victory. I think I have to say again that Chelsea were very very lucky to come out of this match with a 1-0 victory. I think they did not do much. I think we did not created much. I think we were very lucky to survive in this game. And for me, we were very lucky that we came out of it as a 1-0 winners because I don't think Chelsea did a lot in this game. I don't think Chelsea did a lot in this game. I don't think we created a lot. I don't think we created a lot of chances. And I think we were very, very lucky to come out of it. I think we scored a goal through set piece, which you can say penalty, a lucky goal, a lucky break for us today. So you can say penalty was a big, big lucky break for us today. And bar the penalty, you can say, sir, that everything other than that was a bit poor. Half chances were poor. We were not winning the final ball. Chelsea were really struggling with the final ball today. The half chances were not there. Whenever we had the chance, we did not make the right pass. The passing in the box was not up to the mark that we used to be. Attackingly, when we got to the final position, the finishing was lacking. So whenever the finishing was lacking, we were struggling. And then there was no creative chances as well. I think we missed the influence of Kovacic today as well because Kovacic is a player that brings a lot of things for Chelsea as well. I think Ben Chilwell, because of his injury, looked a bit more sloppy, which is understandable because he's literally coming back after a very, very serious ACL. And we do need to have a bit of sympathy regarding that because he suffered a massive, massive ACL injury. I think Reece James was fabulous today. Was absolute fabulous. And if he stays fit for this whole season, he can literally decide top 4 on his own hand. I think that defensively, Silva was marvelous. I think Koulibaly was very good, but also has some sloppiness in him today, which is acceptable on his debut. And I think Aspilicueta did a good job as well whenever required. I think Edward Mendy was very, very good today. We haven't doubting Edward Mendy that Edward Mendy has not done well. Is he the right keeper for Chelsea? And I think Edward Mendy has done a fabulous, fabulous job so far today. He made the right saves. He was in the right position. He made the right goal kicks as well. So I think that was a big, big positive as well. I think substitutes, Cucurella had a big, big impact on the game. I think Pulisic had no impact on the game, in my opinion. I think other than that, you go. I think other substitutes had no impact on this game. So I think Cucurella was very, very positive. He put a good cross for Sterling as well, which hit the defender and was blocked. I think Cucurella made some good tackles as well. I think Cucurella won the ball back and really put a good crosses into the box. He did look good, pacey, and really good with the ball as well. And I think he's a big, big positive for Chelsea. A massive positive for Chelsea today. And I think he was a big, big part today why we were so good today and we were so, so lucky to come out with the victory. So, is this a good victory for Chelsea? I cannot say no because I think victory is a victory and you start the season well. But was it a good, convincing victory for Chelsea? Does it inspire confidence for what's to come ahead? I don't think so. I don't think this victory gives me confidence that our future is going to be great and we are going to be very dominant. I think Chelsea still have to do a lot of work. We still have a lot of things to cover up. And I think Chelsea do need to step up our game. Or otherwise, I think we are in deep, deep trouble. Because I do think Chelsea will have to step up our game or we are going to suffer this season. For the first match, I'm not going to make any big analysis because it's the first game of the season for Chelsea. You cannot be negative just from the first game of the season and start thinking that the season is not going to go good, the season is going to go this, the season is going to go that. No, it's the first game of the season. And for me, you cannot be negative when you play the first game of the season. But again, the main problem for Chelsea in this game was chance creation, the main problem for attack. And that's the thing that I've been speaking on my channel. I think most Chelsea creators have been speaking that thing from last 2-3 years. And I think that's becoming too much to keep speaking about again and again and again. I think half chances were again not there. And again, I think our transfer work has not been done before the window, which is expectable as well because of the ownership change. So I think these are the concerns for Chelsea. I think I will say one thing that we do need to get away with some victories right now. I think Chelsea need to get away from this fixture list with some victories, with some results. And once we get away from these fixtures with some good results, then we can concentrate on a season when we get all of our players fit and ready, and when all of this transfer window deadline day is over. Till then, I think at the moment Chelsea are a bit in trouble. And until then, I will say that we have to just get results and the attack is going to be disjointed. But on the final note, I myself don't know how is Chelsea going to improve attack. On my note, I myself don't know that how is Chelsea going to improve attack and how can Chelsea improve this attack. Because guys, I am out of solution. Is Obama going to improve this attack? I don't know. Is Depay going to be the answer? I don't know. I really don't know what's going to be the answer. Is De Jong going to be the answer? Who's a midfielder? So this is the thing that's disturbing me about Chelsea. What is going to be the solution of attack? How are we going to improve it? And how are we going to march ahead? Because this is the biggest concern for me, and this concern is staying with me for the long time. After all, the 3 points are important between आप कौन से सिटी में रहते हो श्री सर मैं हरियाणा में रहता हूँ अम्बाला साइड से ऑन हरियाणा एंड बट आफ्टर द डिफेंस अगेन Sterling shot was bad. Sterling shot was bad. 1-1. I will say one thing. Sterling finishing is a bit doubtful, and I think I was really clear about that from the first day when he was signed. Sterling finishing has always not been on point, and I think Chelsea fans should have embraced themselves from the start. But I do think Danish by the Sterling had a good impact on the game. He made a good runs. He really took the ball well. He ran with the ball well, and I think overall his effort was there to see. And I think it was still overall a good display by him, over in my opinion. And going on towards other part of as well, I think Chelsea attack again lacked. And the problem for me is I did not see anything different from last year. We have had pre-season, we have given players a lot of time to improve themselves. Havertz has had now 2.5 years at Chelsea. My only concern with Chelsea is that today again I did not see anything different. It was the same old Chelsea, it was the same old Chelsea with the same old stuff. That's the only things that concern me. And with that today, I will just give my final thoughts on the game before I end the video. And the final thought for me in this game will be that it's a good victory for us. We won this game 1-0. We get the victory. We march on. And the 3 points are the most important thing. If we can win most of our games and get a draw against Tottenham before the transfer window ends, I think it could be a great, great window for us. And Danish, my good night, brother. And tomorrow against Brighton, fingers crossed. I do hope you win, Bhai, and I do think you're going to beat Brighton. I think it's going to be one of the most entertaining match, and I do think, Bhai, you will win 3-2. So, overall, I will say one thing on Chelsea's final thoughts in this game. I think we had a good points today. We took the 3 points. We have Tottenham next. If we can get a draw against Tottenham, then we have got Leeds, We have got Southampton, we have got Leicester. If until the deadline day we can get 13 points from the 5 games, I'm very, very happy. Because after the deadline day, I think Chelsea will most probably have signed for Fofana. Cucurella would have been settled in the team. I think we would have signed De Jong as well. So I think Chelsea will start looking a much, much better outfit than we are right now. So this is why I'm waiting for this transfer window to end and Chelsea to look better. And if we can take the maximum points, I think we are in a good stead. But the problem is, at one point or another point, if an attack is going to play the way it's going today, it will bite us. Not today, so it will bite us in December or January or February. That's the biggest concern for me, and that's the thing for me. Chelsea have to improve upon. And no United now, Jitte. Just kidding. Good night and good night all. And overall, my thoughts on the game were: I think we had a good game today. I think we got the 3 points we needed. I think Sterling was a bit positive. Koulibaly did fine. Silva was magnificent. I think James was magnificent. I think Chilwell was magnificent. I think Mendy was very, very good today. I think apologies for that. I think the front three was fantastic in my opinion in terms of running behind and nothing else. I think Sterling did a good job. Mason was very, very anonymous. Harvest was just running with no output and no match awareness. And that's the thing that disappointed me. And I will only say one thing: at some point, this will bite us. Attackingly, we're not improving. But at least if we get Cucurella, Fofana, and De Jong together in a team, defensively, we're going to concede a lot of less goals. And that might propel us 8, 9, 10 points more than what we had last season. But overall, the final note: if we do not improve this attack, at some point it is going to bite us in the back, and at some point that's not going to allow us to go to the next level. On that note, guys, I end the video. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you, Akrit Bhai. Thank you, Danish Bhai. Thank you, Gaurav Bhai. Thank you, Football Freak Sir. Thank you, everyone who joined today. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. It only takes a second. Please support my work. Guys, I put a lot of hard work into it. Please do subscribe to the channel. Please keep support me. Please like. Thank you all. Hope you have a great day.